Good morning, dear students in grade 12. Welcome to our English seminar for today, in which we are going to revise Unit 1. Well, dear students, dear colleagues, let me first welcome my colleagues in the studio who are going to participate with me in this seminar. Mr. Karim Qassab, a senior supervisor in the Ministry of Education. Good morning, Mr. Karim.
Good morning.
And Mr. Mazen Abdul Karim, an English teacher from Damascus countryside. Good morning, Mr. Mazen.
Good morning.
Welcome to our seminar for today. Well, dear students, as you know, this is the first seminar in our plan in the Ministry of Education to revise all the units in your curriculum. At first, as you know, let me introduce the ideas or the grammatical skills mentioned in Unit 1. We can use the laptop, of course. As you can see in Unit 1, dear students, the title of Unit 1 is The Law. So it's about the law. Here, in grammar, we have some grammatical skills mentioned. The student has to know how to link the past with the present. It's just a revision, dear colleagues, of the present perfect simple and continuous tenses. Of course, we have some new vocabulary in the text in the student's book as well as in the activity book. We will try to cover these two texts at the beginning of this seminar. Well, dear colleagues, in fact, dear students, we have prepared a file for you in which we can revise all tenses. It depends on the time, of course. So we will try to cover all tenses today. But first, let us start talking about the text in Unit 1. Well, as you know, here in the first page, or page 10, in the first page of Unit 1, it is page 10 in the book. Here in exercise 2, Mr. Mazen,
yes,
we have some new vocabulary. Would you please give the students an idea about these new vocabulary and the meanings of these words, please?
Yes. These vocabularies has to do with the law, with the Unit 1. The first one, enforce. It means to
put into
practice, carry out.
Yes.
Govern. It's number 4.
Yes. To control.
Number 5, sorry.
Number 5, to control.
To control. Guilty. Responsible for a crime.
So when
6.
someone is responsible for a crime, we say he is guilty. The opposite, of course, is innocent. It is the.
Yes.
It means not responsible.
Not responsible for a crime. Jury, a group of people in court who decide whether someone is guilty.
Yes.
Legal, relating to the law.
So it is an adjective
of law.
Of the word law.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Principle, which is a rule or belief. Number H, property, something valuable which belongs to someone.
Yes.
The last one, prove, which is to show that something is true.
So if I want to prove something to you, I mean that I show you that this something
is true.
It is correct.
Of course. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mazen. Now, Mr. Karim, let me start asking you about, of course, the law in general. When we say law, the word law, what does it mean in general?
Actually, the word law is a set of rules,
yes,
that govern societies
course.
around the world.
Good.
So this is, you know, an international word. Wherever you go, you find law.
So
law is the ruler of the country or the society.
Good. It's something that controls our life to live a safe life, to let's say stop crimes,
Actually,
to organize our life and the society.
Yes, we have a number of definitions.
We should have laws. So why, if I ask someone, why should we have laws?
Yes.
Of course, because laws are important to our society, to control our life, to stop crimes maybe. we have many
We have
purposes.
a number of definitions for the word law.
Yes, thank you. Of
that's
course,
right.
thank you, Mr. Karim. Of course, we have different, let's say, kinds or types of law, Mr. Mazin. Like what?
Criminal law,
We have criminal law.
civil law,
When we say criminal law, this law deals with theft and
Crimes,
crimes.
yes.
It deals with theft and crimes. What else?
we have civil law,
Civil law.
yes.
Yes.
And we have
Of course, it is related to the civil life,
civil law.
the relations maybe
Between
people
people.
in the society.
Yes.
What else?
We have the family law.
Family law. It is related or concerned with family life,
Yes, the relation
The relations between
the member of the family.
the members of the family,
And we have property law.
and property law. It is related to everything that maybe someone
Many
has.
kinds, actually.
Exactly.
We have many,
yes.
also many,
Many-
types
many-
of
many
cri-
definitions of
crimes.
these
Also, we have
laws. Thank you.
economic laws, we have social laws,
Yes,
we have a lot
yes.
of things.
Thank you very much. First, let's go directly to the text at page 14, I think.
Yes.
It is at page 14. Here we are. Here we have an essay. It is about new crimes. Dear students, dear colleagues, as you know, because of technology, because of modern technology nowadays, we have, or let's say, new crimes have appeared. Maybe in the past there were, we know, traditional crimes like theft or
Fraud.
fraud.
Yes.
But today we have new crimes, another, let's say,
Kind of
shape
crimes.
or type of crimes. They have appeared in recent years because of using maybe the internet, because of using the technology, because of using the computers. So here let me ask you directly about the text, which is at page 14.
Yes.
When I ask, for example, which law, Mr. Karim, is changing very quickly?
Actually, laws which are related to computer crimes.
Exactly.
These are the laws which are
So
changing.
the law related
Yes.
to computer
computer
crime.
crimes.
This is the law which is changing
Yes.
very quickly.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Mr. Mazen, modern criminals nowadays are using computers. We know that.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, modern criminals are using computers to help them commit crimes like identity theft and to make it easier to commit all the crimes like theft or fraud.
Thank you. So to commit crimes, because computers help them to commit crimes. When we say commit, this verb, Mr. Karim, what is the correct definition or meaning of the verb commit? I think it is when you do something wrong,
Yes.
or when you do something bad
Exactly.
as a crime, we say commit something.
Commit,
So to commit something is to do something wrong or
And
bad.
sometimes it is, used in a wrong way.
Yes.
We say sometimes he commit mistakes. Actually, not commit mistakes. It is here to make mistakes
Yes,
or,
yes.
made mistakes.
But
in
a
the
crime,
past.
we say commit a
Commit,
crime.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Karim, in the text, there is a new crime which is mentioned here. What a new crime is mentioned? What is the new crime mentioned in the text? I think it is
Yes, actually,
identity
we have many.
theft.
We have many. Yes, many crimes, and
But the only one mentioned here
the most important
is the identity
yes, theft.
theft.
Yes,
So
which means now.
if we want to
s-
define the
yes.
word,
Identity theft here means that to steal someone's information, personal information. For
Or
example,
details, yes, yes.
details or information
to be
about
used
someone.
later.
To be used later.
something else.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
This is now the meaning
Thank you.
of
Thank you very
identity
much. Now,
theft.
what are the old crimes mentioned, Mr. Mazin, in the text?
Yes.
Like what? We have
yes.
some examples.
Yes, example of all the crimes, theft or fraud.
We know the theft.
Yes.
When someone steals something. But what about fraud?
Yes,
Fraud.
fraud is the crime of lying or cheating to get
Money,
something
to
or
get
money.
Thank you very much. Now, we know that modern crimes are difficult to be solved. Why? Why is it difficult, Mr. Karim, to solve computer crimes?
Actually, the world of computer is a virtual one. It is not real one. So because of that, we say that it is difficult to solve these problems or these crimes because, you know, the criminals are not seen. They are invisible. They cannot be seen. And therefore, we can't also prove that they did or commit a crime. Because it is, you know, a virtual reality. It is, sorry, a virtual world. It is not reality.
So simply we can say because the criminals are invisible.
Yes.
And it is very hard to prove their actions.
Exactly.
Their actions
Exactly.
may be hard to prove.
Exactly.
Now, another question
Yes.
for Mr. Mazin.
Yeah.
Why is it difficult to prosecute or to charge a computer crime successfully, Mr. Mazin?
Yes, it is very difficult to prosecute a criminal successfully because usually nothing is actually stolen or physically damaged.
We cannot prove that this person
Yes.
has done this.
Exactly.
Yes, or
It is difficult.
yes, or
to do
steal,
so.
for example, a table,
Yes.
a computer, or
Yes.
something.
Yes, thank you.
And
very
because we know in all the crimes, okay, or traditional crimes, a thief might break a door, might break a window in order to break
Yes.
into the
Yes.
house.
Yes.
But here there is nothing damaged here,
Thank you.
nothing hurt. So it is very difficult actually
Thank you.
to prove
Thank
the
you very
crime.
much. Now, in recent years, computer crime has increased.
Exactly.
There is a reason, of course, Mr. Mazin. Why?
Yes. Yes, because the number of people using the internet
Has grown. Has
So
increased.
the more people use the computer, the more crimes we have.
Of course, of course. Thank you very much. Now,
Yes.
in the second paragraph here, we mentioned techno-criminals. As you know, techno-criminals, they are
Yes.
called techno-criminals because they use technology
Exactly.
when committing crimes. That's why we call them techno-criminals. Now, techno-criminals can do a lot of things by using maybe computers or the internet. Like what, Mr. Karim?
Actually, they can buy things without paying money or goods without paying money. They can break into other computer systems
of businesses.
Yes,
Yes.
and also they can move the money to their own accounts. So this is very clever.
There is something else which is very dangerous.
Yes.
They can send.
Sent viruses also, which can
What
damage.
can viruses do, or how can viruses, let's say, affect
Yes,
computers?
actually, viruses are programs. This is now the definition of
is
bad
a bad
programs that affect the information inside and also the hardware, the hard or the computer
Right,
itself.
right. So they can damage computers
Yes.
and the
And the information contained
they
in these-
contain.
Yes,
So
in these computers.
nowadays, if let's say modern criminals want to pass on confidential information more
Exactly.
easily, private information, secret information, what can they do,
Yes.
Mr. Karim?
Of course, as we said, they can, move money to their own
So
accounts.
they can use what?
The internet.
The computers, of course.
To plan their
the
crimes.
internet.
Yes.
So they use the internet to
yes.
plan their crimes and
Yes.
to pass on confidential
Exactly, because
information.
when meeting or having telephone conversations, these might be dangerous on them. So they use the internet to do that, to plan, okay, and to communicate with each
Thank
other.
you.
Of course, I'm not saying so to encourage people to be computer criminals,
no,
but
of
now
course.
we are talking about here the text in
As
this.
you know,
of
dear
course.
students know about computers nowadays.
Yes,
Most
of
of them
course.
use or have
Oh,
computers
exactly,
at
and
home,
the internet.
they, of course, have heard about hackers
Yes,
in
exactly,
the internet
exactly,
and what they do, what crimes they do by
Exactly.
using the internet. So it just, this text, an example
Yes.
about new crimes nowadays. That's it. So the
Techno
student
crimes,
here
techno
should
crimes,
have
yes.
an idea about, let's say, the main ideas of the text.
Yes.
He should, let's say, know the meanings or the definitions of some new words in the text, and he should know how to express himself or his ideas on paper. That's
Yes,
it. So
exactly.
that's everything, dear
Exactly.
students, about this
Exactly.
text.
Exactly.
There's nothing difficult at all. Let's now move, because time is not enough, maybe,
Yes.
for all Unit 1. Let's try to conclude something.
Yes.
Here, let's go on directly to the activity book, I think. Yes, here we are. we have in Unit 1 another text in the activity book. It's again the title, the law. The law is the title. Here it is at page 4. It is about, or the title of the text is International Rules of Law. Here, the first sentence, dear students, as you can see, the Geneva Convention is a set of international laws that protect injured soldiers and civilians during war. So it is about a convention which is called Geneva Convention. What is Geneva Convention, Mr. Mazen?
Yes, it is a set of international laws that protect injured soldier and civilian during war.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Before we go on, we have a call. Muhammad. Good morning, Muhammad.
Good morning.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. Muhammad, what's your question?
Okay, in this sentence, by the time they had finished their homework, it was time for bed.
Sorry, what page? What page, Muhammad? Are you asking me about something specific in your book?
Yes.
Where is it? What page?
One moment.
Okay, what page?
Let me look.
Page. Is it in the activity book or in the student's book?
Page 90.
Page 90.
Page 90.
Student book.
Student's book?
Yes.
Okay, just a minute. Here we are.
Yes, Mr.
Yes.
I can see it. It's okay. Page 90. Good.
90?
90.
Yes.
Yes. What about it, Muhammad?
The fifth sentence, by the time they had finished their homework, it was time for bed. As you can see, we used past perfect after by the time.
Page 90, exercise. We can use the laptop, of course. Thank you. Exercise 2.
1.
1.
Yes.
Okay, number
5.
Number 5.
Number 5. By the time, yes, by the time they'd space their homework, it was time for bed.
Yes.
Here, if we go back to the rubric, Mr. Kareem, now complete these sentences with the correct form of an appropriate word from maybe 1A, exercise 1A. Maybe from
Yes.
1A, yes. So here, decide whether to use the formal or the informal word. Okay. Well, would like to answer,
my
Muhammad?
question is about the tense.
The tense.
He's asking about this,
you are asking about the tense,
past
not about the word.
perfect. Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah.
By the time they had done or completed, Mr. Mazen?
Yes, number 5.
By the time
they had finished, yes, their homework, it was time for bed.
You are asking me now about the reason why we used the past perfect here, not the past simple. Maybe most students, Mr. Kareem, Mr. Mazen, dear students, know that when we have a time clause, when we have a sentence that contains 2 clauses, it begins with a time clause like by the time. We usually use the simple past, then we use the past perfect in the second clause. An example, by the time we arrived, the film had started. It means that the film started before our arrival. But here, by the time they had finished their work, it was time for bed. It means that by the time means, Muhammad, it means when.
Before.
It means
shortly
when.
Before,
Exactly.
or,
when.
Shortly
it means
before,
when.
or when.
If you go back to the dictionary,
Yes.
it means when. So
Yes.
when they finished, when they had finished, we can use the past perfect. It's correct, Muhammad. It's not wrong. It's correct. It means that they finished their work first, their homework first, then they maybe went to bed.
Yes.
That's
I think it is here, Mr. Bassett, it is better to use the past perfect here. Better to use, because here, by the time,
Yes.
okay, it means shortly before.
Yes, yes.
If you have 2 actions here,
it
something
means-
happened before the other.
Muhammad, can you hear me?
Yes.
Now here we have 2 actions in the
actions,
sentence, right?
yes.
As Mr. Kareem said. There is an action about finishing their homework. So they finished their homework and then they went to bed. So which action happened first? Which one?
When they
to finish their homework. So that's why we use the past perfect
Exactly.
here. They had finished their homework, then they went to bed. It's okay if we say by the time they finished their work, it was time for bed. Both of them are correct. The
But
simple
it is
past
better, actually.
and the past
yes.
perfect. But to show that this action
Happened
happened
before.
first, before the second one,
Yes.
here we use the past perfect. That's it.
Yes.
Okay, Muhammad?
Okay,
Thank you very much. Thanks for your call. Maybe we have, do we have another call? Do we have another call? Amran, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Amran?
Very fine. Thank
Okay, your question, please.
you. I suggest that you use Arabic in addition to English.
Okay.
Can you explain English lesson?
Are you, Amran, a student or a teacher?
I am a student
You are a student.
Yes.
In grade 12?
in grade 12.
Okay, Amran. First of all, I'd like to thank you very much for your call. You are speaking with me in English, so you can communicate in English. Do you think that speaking in Arabic would raise the level of English in our country? No.
Right.
I think it is wrong to say that. We are on TV and we are here to encourage our dear students, our sons in Syria, to speak in English, not in Arabic. We are here English teachers.
Seminar.
We should not use Arabic at all. We should use English, but our target here is to simplify the information for you to be able to speak with us. And you are now calling us and you can speak with us in English. So I'd like to thank you. This is number one. Then we wish you all good luck in the final exam. Do you have another question?
Yes, another question, please.
Okay.
Some students can't understand you.
What?
Some students can't understand you.
It's if they can't understand us, it means that they need more practice at home. They need some help at home. They can ask someone in their family to help them, or a friend maybe,
teachers.
or a teacher maybe, a classmate maybe. So all these people, they can read. We advise them to read, to listen to English, to watch our seminars. We are here to simplify the information. We use simple words. We don't use complex words at all. We are here just to help you to be able to speak in English. So we are very sorry, and we are here to say that we are here to teach English, not to teach Arabic. Thank you, Imran. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go back. A good suggestion, by the way. We respect all opinions. I have heard, in fact, a lot of opinions, maybe on the Facebook, and they invite us sometimes to speak Arabic, and we don't think that it is a good strategy to speak Arabic in our English seminars. We are here to speak English and to help you speak English, to be able to communicate in English, not in Arabic. Let's go back to the text, please. So here we were talking about the Geneva Convention. When we say what is Geneva Convention, is it a difficult question?
No.
What is Geneva?
Definition.
Mr. Mazen has just answered me. He said it is a set of rules that protect injured soldiers and civilians. What do we mean by the word civilians, Mr.
Civilians are all people who are not soldiers.
Not in the army.
Not in the
They
army.
are ordinary
Yes,
people,
yes,
not in the army.
Yes.
People not
Of
in the
society.
army.
People
Yes.
of society
Yes.
who are not in the army.
Exactly.
Or not
Exactly.
soldiers.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, how does the Geneva, Mr. Mazen, Convention help the victims of war? How?
Yes. By making...
When we say, by the way, a convention is an agreement, a
Yes,
formal
of course.
agreement between a number of countries.
A number
And
of
Syria was one of the
the
countries
country
that followed
the
Geneva Convention, this convention. Okay.
So by making sure that every person is treated well and with respect.
That's it. So
Actually, here, the main purpose, the main goal of Geneva Convention is to deal people in a human way, humanitarian way.
Yes.
That is now that's all. Okay, so here people must be, dealt with with respect, and also not to be, prejudiced.
Thank
okay,
you.
right.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, in the text itself,
Yes.
they say the agreement is important. Why, Mr. Mazen?
Yes,
The agreement
is important
Why?
Because during war, a country might need help from neutral organization to care for the wounded.
So, like what? Like the Red Crescent.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you about the Red Crescent, but after I receive another call, we have a call from Tartus. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine.
Your name, please?
My name is Khalil, and I have a question.
Okay,
Page
Khalil.
28.
With pleasure. Page 28 in the activity book?
Yeah, no, student's book.
In the student's book, page 28. It's okay. Just to go back to the page.
Exercise number 2.
Exercise 2. Yes.
2. It's okay. What about it?
The third clause. Yusuf.
Just a minute. Sorry. I'm trying to go back to page 28 or 22?
28.
28. Yes, here we are. We can use the laptop now. What about it? Which exercise? Here.
Exercise 2.
Exercise number 2.
Number 2. Which
A, B, or C?
number, please?
You have A, B, C.
Here,
Which one?
Just a minute, Khalil. We have here 3 conversations, right?
The third.
We have here in exercise 2 3 conversations, right? Is it in conversation A or B or C?
A.
It is in conversation A. What's your question?
Yusuf's clause.
Here, look at the rubric of the question. Complete these conversations with the correct form, present perfect simple or present perfect continuous.
Where you be?
Where to be. So, where have you been? That's it. Where have you been?
Okay.
I have been trying to phone you all morning. That's it. I've been trying to phone you all morning.
Yes.
Sorry, I've been sorting out my bedroom cupboards all morning. That's it. Here, Khalil, we are going, after we finish talking about or explaining the text of Geneva Convention, we are going to explain the tenses for you. But maybe you get confused when you deal with, or some students, not only you, they get confused when dealing with the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. We are going to talk about it, but for the time being, I can answer you. Here, the present perfect continuous is used. Why? Because it can be used to talk about an action from the recent past that has an effect now, especially when you have a length of time like all morning, all day, all week. That's it. So,
for a year, for a month.
Here we use the present perfect continuous to refer to something from the recent past that was in progress for some time. Okay?
Okay.
That's it. Be with us.
We are going to explain everything about the present perfect.
We are going to explain tenses after we finish Geneva Convention.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Let's go back here. What is, Mr. Karim, the Red Crescent? What is the Red Crescent?
The Red Crescent is one of international...
We can use the laptop, of course. Yes.
The Red Crescent is one of the international organizations that help people during war.
Provides aid during war. That's
provides
simply.
Simply. So we have a lot.
So it is an organization that provides aid or help
during war.
During war.
Yes. And even after
not
the war.
Not only during war, but also during peacetime.
During peacetime.
Thank you very much. Before we go on, we have another call. Good morning. Good morning. Lynn, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you, Lynn?
My name is Zainab from Homs.
Welcome, Lynn. Your question, please.
I have a question in activity book, page 30.
Page 30?
Yes.
Okay, just a minute. 13. Page 30 or 13?
13.
13?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Mr. Mazen
could
hear you better than me. It's okay.
Okay.
It's writing here. It's about composition.
What's your question?
Can we write about a visit to Albania?
Choose something that...
Here, if we go back to the rubric, choose something that actually happened to you, or use your imagination to make up a story. Here, Lean, of course, you can mention anything that happened to you in your life. You can mention a visit, if it happened actually with you, or you can talk about something that actually happened with you, anything, a visit, a match, an event happened with you, anything. And you can, of course, use your imagination to make up a story from your imagination. You can use your imagination to create a story. So it's okay if you want to talk about a visit to Apamia, it's okay. If to visit to Palmyra, it's okay. A visit to London, to anywhere in the world, you are free. Because if you have to mention, of course, that this thing happened to me, and you have to talk about the details of this visit. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
But she should use the simple past.
But Lean, as Mr. Mazin said, when mentioning a story, when talking about an event that happened in the past, of course, you have to use the past. The simple past, the past perfect, the past continuous. All past tenses can be used in your story. Past tenses, not present, because here you are talking about something that happened to you in the past. Thank you very much. Now we can go back, of course, to our text at page 4. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So here I have one more question.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
Here you said the Red Crescent is an organization that provides aid during war and peacetime. Exactly.
Yes.
We have another call, maybe Hammam from Damascus countryside. Good morning, Hammam.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I want to ask you from activity book.
Which page, Hammam?
Page 54.
64.
64 in the activity book?
Yes.
Okay. Just a minute.
64 also.
Yes.
It is also
about writing here.
It's also about, just a minute.
An informal email.
64.
Yes.
Here we are. It's okay. What about it?
Exercise number 1, sentence F.
Number 1, what is it? Writing an informal email. Read this email and answer these questions. So what's your question?
Sentence F.
Sentence A. What about it, Mr.
What are the writer and his friend planning?
What are the writer and his friend planning? You have to read, right? Read the email to answer the questions. So, Mr. Mazin, can you answer him?
Yes.
Okay.
They are planning a holiday. So, and they are talking about the things that they will take with them to the during this holiday.
During this journey or holiday. Yes, exactly. Okay.
Okay.
Are you with us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it okay?
Okay.
Do you have another question?
No.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, that's everything about the two texts. I think it's time for
grammar now.
For grammar
Yes.
now. We can, in fact, talk about tenses in English. As you know, dear students, here, I'm sorry, we should use slide 1. It's okay. Here, it is, as you know, about tenses. Well, dear students, when we talk about tenses, we know that we have present tenses, past tenses, and future tenses. Let me start with Mr. Karim. Would you please, Mr. Karim, talk about or start talking about the present tenses, please?
Yes, actually, in the present, we have a number of tenses. We have, first of all, simple present. We have then present continuous. We have present perfect and also finally we have a present perfect continuous. Actually, our concern now in this seminar should be focused on perfect, because you know the grammar found in the book
in unit 1
is about the present perfect and the present
but maybe
perfect.
the reason why we mentioned the other tenses, Mr. Karim, is that because we are here trying to revise all tenses, because the student in the baccalaureate
will have, you know, a question in the exam paper about tenses.
Should have everything about tenses, not only about perfect tenses. I agree with you, but we try here to cover as we can the tenses.
Now let's start with the simple present or present simple. This tense is used actually in two ways, or maybe in more. But now our focus is on, you know, on two things. The first one is for repeated actions. When we express repeated actions, when we talk about something that happens repeatedly.
For example?
Yes. For example, we say, we play tennis most weekends. So here in this sentence, on this example, we play tennis most weekends. And now here, most weekends is, you know, a key to our students. And I say, don't worry, in each sentence you have a key that shows you what to use, which tense is to use, okay? So here in this case, we play tennis most weekends. This means that repeatedly at the weekend I play tennis.
We have many words that refer to
simple present.
Let's say frequently.
We have we have often, we have usually, we have, you know, always, we have every day, we have, you know, exactly.
Yes, sometimes, usually,
exactly, exactly. Yes. Another example, Mr. Bassett here, I paint pictures sometimes, or I sometimes paint pictures. So we can use sometimes after the subject or at the end of the, no problem here. I paint pictures sometimes, or I sometimes paint pictures. Also, this is a repeated action, because sometimes I paint. One of my hobbies is painting. So sometimes when I am free and I have free time, okay, then I paint.
Okay.
Another example here, Selma usually goes shopping on Fridays. Usually. So here usually is a key word for simple present. Whenever we see this word, we mean or we know that we must use simple present, because usually is one word, one of the words used with simple present.
The second use?
The second use is that we use it for routine or situation that we see as permanent.
Permanent here means lasting forever.
Lasting forever. Like, for example, I work at a sports shop, or I work in an office. So here, this is a
it's something permanent. It doesn't change.
Every day I come to my work in the office and work. So this is here, it is called a state or permanent state here.
Yes.
I work at a sports shop, it's a permanent job. Or they live in a very nice flat, because living is not something temporal, it is something,
Thank you, Mr. Karim.
Permanent.
Thank you. I think the idea is very clear. We have another call, Rami from Damascus countryside. Good morning, Rami.
Good morning, sir.
How are you, Rami?
I'm very happy to join this beautiful call.
Thank you very much. We are sure that you are working hard at home and preparing very well for the final exam, aren't you?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I am.
Good.
But I want to ask you about something. Can I?
Why not?
Of course.
As you know, like as language, as English, we have something that's really, we have past simple and present perfect.
Of course.
They are very similar to each other.
Yes.
So as a student, I should be aware when the exam is going
Yes, I understand. I understand you.
Are you going as teachers? Are you going to look forward this point? Because, like, you know, they are very similar. So if we
I see. I understand your question.
Like to a lot of time, maybe we should have differences if there's no clarification.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, Rami, I can answer you, and my answer will be not only for you, for all the students who are following us now. In the final exam, if you ask me about the final exam, in the final exam, we usually, let's say, focus on the main, let's say, skills in English grammar. As you know, the simple past and the present perfect both can be used to talk about something happened before now. I agree with you. But of course, there is a difference between them. When we want to tell when the action happened, we usually use the past simple.
Exactly.
Time is not important with the present perfect, as you know. The present perfect focuses only on the action, not on time. It focuses on the action. It means that this action happened before now or never happened before now. It has many uses, of course. In this seminar, we are trying to focus on it. Just wait for us 5 minutes and we will cover it.
Can I say something?
Why not?
I'm talking about like the clarifications, like which is better to use if there's no clarifications for both.
Which is better to use? Which one?
Which is better to use if there's no if there's no clarification?
It depends. It depends on the speaker. Sometimes, if we don't give you an indicator, for example, let me.
Like this.
Can I answer you, Rami?
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you very much. If we give you a sentence without an indicator, it means Rami, between brackets, travel to Homs.
Yes.
All tenses here are accepted. We can say Rami traveled to Homs. Rami has traveled to Homs. Rami will travel to Homs. Is going to travel to Homs.
Rami is traveling to Homs.
Yes. Travels to Homs. All tenses in this case are accepted. Why? Because there is no indicator. So here the student is free in this case. He can use any tense he likes. It depends on the speaker. But I don't think that such a sentence can be mentioned in the final exam, as I said. Okay?
By the way, Mr. Basil, I'd like to pay
I'm very
our students.
thankful to be
Yes, please, Rami.
Sorry, Rami. Mr. Karim would like to add something to you.
Actually, the reason why a present perfect and the present perfect continuous is elusive, is a bit difficult for our students to understand, is that in Arabic, listen Rami, listen to me carefully.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
You know, in Arabic we have
a good
tenses.
Student, Rami.
Yeah, good. In Arabic we have tenses, in English we have tenses. All tenses in Arabic have similar tenses in English. Now, if you say, for example, I went to school, here we have in Arabic a similar tense. If you say, I am going to school now, we have in English a similar tense. If you say, I will go to school tomorrow, we have a similar tense in Arabic. But for the present perfect, there is no similar tense in Arabic. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
So because of that, you find it a bit difficult, and we call it elusive tense. Elusive means it is a bit confusing, right? Because there is no similar tense in Arabic.
Okay, Rami?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your call.
I'm very thankful and very grateful because I joined this beautiful call. I hope you have a good day during this quarantine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your call. We wish you good luck. Thank you. Goodbye. Now, because we don't have time, we have only 5 minutes, in fact.
Okay.
So let us try to focus on the present perfect directly. Page 15, please. Mr. Mazin, please. The present perfect. You have only 2 minutes, please. Page 15.
Yes.
Slide 15, the present perfect.
Yes.
What is the present perfect,
Yes,
please?
the present perfect, first of all, the form, subject plus have or has plus verb 3 or the past participle. It's, tells us about past experience or achievement with a definite result in the present.
For example?
Example, I've broken my leg, which means I cannot go skiing this year. Present perfect also, it's used to talk about something happened or never happened before now, but we have, as Mr. Basil said, no indicator. We have no...
Time is not important here. We can't mention a specific.
Yes.
For
example, I've swim in the Dead Sea. It means I swam in the past, but I don't want to say.
It's one of my experiences.
Yes.
I've swum in the Dead Sea.
Yes.
I've done many things.
Yes.
And one of them was swimming in the Dead Sea. That's it.
Number two, I have never visited Cairo. It
Yes.
means I have never been to Cairo before.
What else?
Example, present perfect, more example. Summer has written 5 novels so far. Here we have from the past.
So far means till now.
Till now.
Here we use so far to express the repetition of an action before now, to say how many times
from the past till
action
now
happened up till now.
Yes.
Yes.
Majida has got stomach ache. She has had it for 3 years. This is
An
how
action that
long?
began in the past, and continued to the present.
I have just made it tea. I have already read that book. She hasn't tidied her room yet.
And of course, yet is used with the present perfect in the negative form and
Yes.
in questions only.
I think I'd like here to pay our students attention to a very, very important thing.
Like what?
Which
Mr.
is,
Karim?
when I ask you, Mr. Bassel, for example, have you ever been to Cairo or to London? You say, yes, I have. Look here, the first question is in general. So here, I'm
asking you here about your experience.
Exactly.
Since you were born up till now. Since you were born.
Exactly. So here now, when I want to have more details about that, here I must use the past simple. So when
let me give you an example.
Yes.
When I say I have visited London many times, for example,
Yes.
you say, really? When was the last time?
Exactly.
I visited it last
Who
year.
did you
So
meet
here,
there?
as I
What
said,
did you
to
see
tell
there?
when the
Yes.
action happened, use the past simple.
Exactly.
To talk about an experience,
activity itself.
an achievement you have done,
Right.
Use the present
And
perfect.
when we use the word when,
Yes.
it means here that we must use simple
Thank you
past.
very much. Now I'd like you to go directly to page 18 to talk about the present perfect continuous.
Actually,
please.
you know, the form of present perfect continuous is, you know, subject, have or has, been, verb, then ing. So we say, example, it has been raining all day.
Yes.
It has been raining all day. All day here between the brackets because it means that, you know, the action has been, you know, happening for a long time.
Yes.
So, how long have you been learning English? When we ask also, using how long, we must here use present perfect continuous because we are talking about a period of time. So, for period of time, we use a present perfect
Do we have another
continuous.
use now?
Yes, of course. Also, we use it here for an action over a period of time up to now. Means that started in the past and is still going on until now. I've been waiting here for 20 minutes. Means I started waiting 20 minutes ago and I'm still waiting up to now.
Now,
This
thank
is,
you.
yes, this is, you know, the use
Thank
of.
you very much.
Right.
I'd like to add something about
Exactly.
the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous, dear students. What is the difference between
Yes,
them?
can I-
When we use the present perfect simple, we use it to talk about something finished. For example, I have read a story. It means
Yes.
that I have finished it.
Yes.
But when I say I've been reading a story, it
Yes,
means that I'm still reading it.
I have-
So
I
this is the
started
main,
with it, but
this is the
haven't
main
finished
difference
it, yes.
between both tenses, the
Yes.
present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. For example, when we say I have watched a film, it means that I watched it, and that's it, I
And
finished.
finished.
I have been watching a film, it means that I'm still watching it. Another difference, when we use the present perfect continuous, we usually use it to focus on the duration of an
Yes.
action, like Mr. Karim said,
Yes.
that started in the past and continued. For example, we are here in an English seminar. If we want to say how long, we say we have been explaining tenses or present tenses for an hour,
Yes.
right?
Exactly.
We haven't finished yet. Now, if we want to say, to talk about the achievement, we have just finished the present perfect tenses.
Right.
We have, if we want to talk about achievements, we usually use the present perfect simple. If we want to focus on the duration of an action that is still going on, we usually use the present
Also,
perfect
Mr. Bassel,
continuous.
when we talk about numbers, numbers when we ask using how many, so here we
Yes.
use present
Yes,
perfect
of
simple.
course. Yes.
How many books have you read?
Exactly. It
I
is an
can't say
achievement.
yes, it is an achievement.
Thank you
I
very
can't
much.
say how
Mr.
many
Basil,
books
just-
have you been
Yes.
reading.
We have one more minute and then we can finish
Yes,
this seminar, please.
also sometimes both tenses are correct concerning use when we use since and for, but student must pay attention to state verb which are
Yes,
not
yes,
used
yes.
in the
For
present.
example, I have known Mazen
Yes.
for 5 years.
Not
I can't
I
say I have been knowing
Yes.
it. You're
Yes,
right.
yes,
State
yes,
verbs.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Dear students, dear colleagues, at the end of this seminar, I'd like to thank Mr. Mazen Abdul Karim, an English teacher from Damascus countryside.
much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very much.
for coming and
Yes.
participating in
Thank you.
this seminar for today. Mr. Karim Qassab, my dear colleague, a senior supervisor
dear
in the
friend,
Ministry of
thank
Education,
you.
thanks
Thank
a
you
lot for
very
coming
much.
and participating.
Thank you very much.
Dear students, till we meet you in other seminars, we wish you all the best and goodbye. Thank you.